What's up, everyone? Welcome to the August 4th edition of DraftKings Tournament Plays presented by PrizePicks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code AWESOMO when you sign up and make a deposit at PrizePicks. You'll receive one free month of Stokastic Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% deposit bonus up to $100 on your first deposit. We have an 8-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, going to take a look at 3 of the top tournament stacks and 3 of the top tournament pitchers using the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool on the Stokastic.com website. Starting with the top 3 stacks. Number 3, the Houston Astros are taking on Zach Plesac tonight in Cleveland. They're projected for about 9% ownership with a 9% chance of being the top scoring stack. They also have a 4% chance of being the top value stack. Plesac has only struck out 17.7% of hitters this season with a 4.35 xFIP. The Astros active roster has a 118 WRC plus and a 186 ISO. The lineup is also deeper than it has been for a lot of the season as they added Trey Mancini and Christian Vasquez at the deadline. So really 1 through 8 now in their projected lineup, you have above average hitters. It allows you to combine this lineup in a bunch of different ways and create stacks here against Plesac. Number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays are taking on Drew Hutchison tonight in Detroit. The Rays are projected for 12% ownership with a 10% chance of being the top scoring stack, but also an 11% chance of being the top value stack. So you'll be able to build some very strong lineups around them as well. Hutchison has only struck out 12.1% of hitters with a 4.88 xFIP so far this season. The Rays active roster has a 103 WRC plus and a 153 ISO. And number 1, the Chicago White Sox are taking on Cole Ragans tonight in his major league debut. Ragans does look like a decent prospect for Texas. He has a 27% strikeout percentage in 8 AAA starts this year, but he also has a 4.73 xFIP. He's a left-handed pitcher. We don't know what we're going to get from him here. He certainly could come out and be good in his first start, but the upside is definitely there for a Chicago team that has tons of right-handed power in their lineup. They're currently projected for 4% ownership with a 10% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 2% chance of being the top value stack. I do think there's a good chance that ownership projection comes up as the day goes on, but one way or the other, I don't expect them to pull enough ownership that I would want to get away from them because they are pretty expensive. There are going to be better value stacks that people can get to. So I think that will keep the ownership in check at least somewhat. Now, before we look at the top 3 tournament pitchers, we do have a new promo code for viewers of these videos. That promo code is AdamMLB. It's at the top of the screen. Use it. Receive 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. This offer is available for new users only, but if you haven't already signed up for Stokastic Plus, use this promo code. Get yourself 50% off any weekly package. That includes the behind the paywall data, including the top stacks tool and the top pitchers tool that I refer to in these videos. So again, the promo code is AdamMLB. Use it. Get yourself 50% off Stokastic Plus weekly. Now, taking a look at the top 3 tournament pitchers. Number 3, Carlos Carrasco is $9,100 in his matchup against the Atlanta Braves. This is a dangerous Atlanta lineup. They have a 111 WRC plus on their active roster. It's not as dangerous as it would have been earlier in the year when Ozzie Albies and Adam Duvall were healthy, but still a dangerous lineup for the Braves. But they also have a 24.8% strikeout percentage on their active roster. Carrasco has struck out 23.1% of hitters with a 3.52 xFIP so far this season. He's projected for 19% ownership with a 21% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and an 11% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. Number 2, Jeffrey Springs is taking on the Detroit Tigers tonight in Detroit. So it is a negative park shift for him, but still a good matchup against a weak Tigers offense. And he's been a good pitcher all season long. The Tigers active roster has just a 76 WRC plus with a 23% strikeout percentage. They probably will have a predominantly right-handed lineup, but Springs actually has a higher strikeout percentage against righties than lefties and has done a better job limiting power to righties as he has a very good changeup that he throws nearly half the time against right-handed hitters. Springs is projected for 31% ownership with a 21% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and a 26% chance of being a top 2 value pitcher. So far this year, he has struck out 25.5% of hitters with a 3.43 xFIP. And number 1, Justin Verlander is taking on the Cleveland Guardians tonight at $10,400. This is a very difficult strikeout matchup as Cleveland's active roster has just a 16.6% strikeout percentage along with a 110 WRC plus. But Verlander is probably the most talented pitcher on the slate. 3.47 xFIP this year, 25.6% strikeout percentage. You can typically count on him to throw around 100 pitches as well. He's projected for 29% ownership with a 25% chance of being a top 2 pitcher and an 8% chance of being a top 2 value. So to recap, the top 3 tournament stacks: number 3, the Houston Astros; number 2, the Tampa Bay Rays; number 1, the Chicago White Sox; and the top 3 tournament pitchers: number 3, Carlos Carrasco; number 2, Jeffrey Springs; and number 1, Justin Verlander.